My name is Edward. I'm 38 years old. My daughter is seeing a married man. My heart hurts. Life has a strange way of throwing things at you. Things you never prepared for. Things that test your strength, your patience, and most of all, your heart. I'm a single father. My wife, Grace, passed away 6 years ago after a long battle with cancer. She was my everything. Losing her almost broke me, but I had to stay strong. For our daughter, Amanda. Amanda was only 14 when she lost her mother. At that age, a girl needs her mother more than anything, and I knew no matter how hard I tried, I could never fully fill that space. But I promised myself one thing. I would always be there for her. I would be both father and friend. And for a while we were close. We had movie nights. We cooked together. We laughed. We cried. We survived. Amanda grew into a beautiful young woman. Smart, kind, with a heart bigger than the world. She was always the type to believe in the good in people, to give second chances, to love deeply. And maybe that's what made her easy to break. About a year ago, when she turned 20, I started noticing a shift. At first, it was small things. Staying in her room longer, texting late at night, always glued to her phone. I didn't think much of it. She was an adult now, and I knew she deserved her privacy. But soon, the changes became too obvious to ignore. She would leave the house without saying where she was going. She started dressing differently. Nothing wrong with it, just more mature. More like someone trying to impress someone. Then came the mood swings. One moment she'd be smiling, the next, lost in thought. Sometimes she'd come home with tears in her eyes and pretend everything was fine. I tried to talk to her, asked if she was okay, if there was something she wanted to share. She always said the same thing, "I'm fine, Dad. Don't worry." But I was worried. Then one night I heard her. It was around midnight. I was passing by her door when I heard her voice. Soft, broken, emotional. "I just want to be with you, Richard. Why can't you leave her? I'm tired of being your secret." I stopped. My heart dropped. That name, Richard, meant nothing to me at the time. But those words, they said everything. The next morning, I sat her down. I didn't want to yell. I didn't want to accuse. I just wanted to understand. She looked at me, eyes wide with guilt. She tried to avoid the conversation, but I pushed gently. And then she said it. "His name is Richard. He's 42. And yes, he's married. But Dad, it's not what you think. He says he's only with her because of the kids. He says he loves me. He treats me right. Better than any boy my age ever has." I remember just sitting there, staring at her. My chest felt heavy. Not because she had fallen in love, but because she had fallen for a man who would never fully be hers. I asked her how they met. She said it started at her internship. He came in as a guest speaker at a business seminar. She was drawn to his confidence, his charm, the way he spoke. They exchanged contacts. At first, it was friendly conversations. Then it turned into something more. By the time she found out he was married, she was already too deep. And he told her all the things a man like that always says. "I'm not happy with my wife. We don't love each other anymore. You're the only one who understands me." I told her, "Amanda, those words are cheap. If he truly loved you, he'd leave his wife, not keep you a secret." She got upset, said I didn't understand, that love isn't always black and white. And maybe she was right. Maybe love is messy, but some messes aren't worth cleaning up. Over the next few weeks, things got worse. She would disappear for hours. Sometimes she wouldn't come home until late. I stayed up, waiting, praying. I couldn't control her, but I couldn't stop caring either. Every time I looked at her, I saw a girl chasing love at the cost of her own happiness. Then one day she came home early, quiet, distant. She didn't eat. She didn't speak. I left her alone, hoping she'd come around. The next evening, I found her sitting on the floor of her room, phone in hand, tears streaming down her face. She handed me the phone without saying a word. It was a message from Richard. He said it was over. He said he had chosen to work things out with his wife, for the sake of his family. That he hoped Amanda would understand, and find someone who truly deserves her. No apology, no explanation, just a goodbye and a block. Amanda broke. She cried for hours. I held her. I didn't say, "I told you so." I just held her. "Why did he lie to me, Dad?" she sobbed. "Why did he make me feel like I was the one?" I had no answers, only pain. But over time, she began to heal. Slowly but surely, she started journaling. She stopped blaming herself. She began to go out again, but this time with friends her own age. I saw her smile return, little by little. One night, she looked at me and said, "Dad, thank you for never giving up on me. I thought I needed him, but now I realize I only needed to find myself." I smiled, fighting back tears. "You're strong," I told her. "You forgot for a while, but you're finding your way back." Now, when I think of that time, I feel two things: pain and pride. Pain that my daughter had to go through such heartbreak, but pride that she came out stronger, wiser, and more careful with her heart. Weeks turned into months. The house felt lighter again. Amanda started picking up old hobbies, painting, photography, even volunteering at a local youth center. It was like she was rediscovering herself piece by piece. Sometimes, I'd catch her humming in the kitchen while making tea or giggling over a call with one of her new friends. But even in the midst of her healing, I knew that kind of pain doesn't vanish overnight. There were still nights she stared out the window too long or scrolled through old photos in silence. Healing is never a straight path. It's messy, uneven, and filled with memories you wish you could forget. One evening, we sat on the porch. The sky was a warm orange, and there was something peaceful in the air. Amanda turned to me and said, "Dad, do you think I'll ever trust someone again?" I looked at her and said, "You will, but don't rush it. The right person won't rush you either. And when they come, you won't need to question if you're enough. They'll make sure you know." She nodded, but her eyes were glassy. "Sometimes I still think about him," she whispered. "Not because I miss him, but because I hate that I let myself believe him." "That's not your fault," I said gently. "You gave your heart. That's not weakness, Amanda. That's courage." Amanda wasn't the only one learning, though. As her father, I had to realize that I couldn't shield her from everything. I couldn't choose who she loved or who hurt her, but I could be the one person who always showed up, even when things got ugly. And in this world, that kind of presence is more powerful than we think. One day, months later, Amanda came home with a smile that felt different. Not the kind you put on to hide pain, but the kind that shines from within. She said she met someone. His name was Daniel. He worked with a charity organization. They met through a mutual friend. He wasn't flashy. He didn't say all the perfect words, but he listened. He showed up, and he respected her boundaries. I watched her closely, quietly. I didn't ask too many questions, just enough to let her know I cared. This time, she seemed grounded. No late-night crying. No hiding. Just peace. She invited him over for dinner one Sunday. I expected to be protective, even a little cold. But when I met Daniel, something about him put me at ease. He spoke to Amanda like she was his equal, not a secret. He helped her serve the food. He called me sir even when I told him to relax. And when Amanda wasn't looking, he leaned in and said quietly, "She's strong, you know? I admire that about her." That's when I knew my daughter was going to be okay. Not because of Daniel, but because she had finally remembered her worth. Because she had walked through the fire and come out the other side. Not bitter, but brighter. Now, as I sit here telling this story, I think of all the fathers out there watching their daughters grow, make mistakes, fall in love with the wrong people, get their hearts broken. My advice to you? Be patient. Be present. Don't fight their battles, but never leave their side. And to every young woman out there listening, please hear this. You are not a mistake for loving someone who didn't love you back the right way. You're not stupid for believing in someone who lied. That doesn't make you weak. That makes you human. But don't stay stuck in the pain. Don't let one wrong person make you give up on yourself. Because one day someone will love you out loud. They won't hide you. They won't make excuses. They'll choose you fully and proudly. And when that day comes, you'll realize everything you went through was shaping you for something better. So hold on. Healing takes time. But love, real love, is still out there.